Great Tuesday evening, December 22nd, 2020. To God be the glory for yet another beautiful closing of another wonderful day that the Lord has blessed us with. But let me ask you this. Throughout this day, if you just remember from the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, well, we know that we praise the Lord throughout the day, but did we have any hiccups along the way? And I'm not talking about the physical hiccups, but I'm talking about even hiccups where perhaps there was a skip in our path and perhaps we might have had some disagreements or discord along our path with our brother or sister or a stranger or a neighbor. Yeah, it's normal to have a difference of opinion. That's human nature. But I'm wondering, was it that you all were not able to solve the difference? Well, in Genesis 26, we saw that there were some herdsmen. Isaac moved to a land called Gerar, and he dwelt there, and the herdsmen there in later on in the verses, it says that they started arguing. In verse 20 and 21, it says the herdsmen of Gerar started to argue with Isaac's herdsmen over wells. The first well they argued about, it was like, this is our well. And then Isaac's, people were like, this is our water. And Isaac named the well Esek, which means contention. Do we have some Eseks in our lives? And then in verse 21, it says, and they digged another well. And again, there was some strife between the two groups. And Isaac named that well Sitnah. Do we have some accusations or some bumping of the heads? And we just can't, find peace. But we know that the Lord will give us the peace that passeth all understanding, where we'll be able to get along and He'll guard our hearts and our minds as we keep our thoughts. Philippians 4, right? Whatsoever things are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, good report. If there is any praise or any virtue, we should think and meditate on these things. Well, later on, it says that they were able to find another well that they digged, and it says that they named it Rehoboth. That means it was roomy. And then they said that the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And everyone wants that. That's what people want. They want to be able to be successful, happy, all is well. Well, the way to do that is to do what Abraham did. And it says that this was the first promise that was given to Isaac. It says in verse 5, because your father Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. The verse before that, verse 4, I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto the seed all these countries and nations. Yeah, I will bless thee. I will perform the oath which I swear unto your father. So this is what people want. They want to be blessed. They want a good quality of life. But when we obey the commandments of the Lord, when we follow His instruction, then we will be able to find the good life. And it says in Proverbs 22, we would have gone there. Verse 4, by humility, right? When we seek God's will, when we're arguing. And sometimes we got to step back and humble ourselves. By humility and make sure that we're respecting the Lord. It's not about our wants and trying to prove our point. But if we have the fear of the Lord and we are respecting His ways, and it says, then we will have riches, we will have honor, we will have life. That's what we want, a great quality of life. So then we can deal with those disagreements. Yeah, we can agree to disagree, but we can still honor the Lord in the process. Because what happens in verse 5, thorns and snares, traps, and all that craziness and contentions are in the way of the froward, the one who does not want to listen to the Lord and his way and respect him. And he that doth keep his soul, the opposite, when we keep our soul and secure our soul, yeah, then we shall be far from that madness. So we won't be tripped up by the ploys and the plans of the enemy. So the way to have a beautiful life is to acknowledge the Lord, and guess what? He will give us all the promises that he gave to Abraham. Yeah, and we'll be a blessing to others. Have a wonderful evening listening to the Lord and respecting him.